to another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this country farm estate. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this lot for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1, and there should be a download link in the description if that's an easier way for you to kind of get this build from the gallery. And yeah, so this build is kind of another sort of farm lot build. Not really like a full farm, I would say, because I actually have done a build similar to this in the past called Amberfall Farm, and it was basically on the 64x64 lot in Windenburg. It had like a big kind of farmhouse. It had like a separate garage as well, a little kind of granny flat sort of thing, or like a separate guest house, whatever you call it, and also like a big farm area too, with like greenhouses, and also had like, you know, the stripy grass thing you do as well with the train paint, that sort of thing. And I've done that before, and that build was so well received. I always plan to do another one because everybody seemed to love it. So today we're doing another one, but to kind of switch it up, I did incorporate a little bit of train tools because I've been a little bit kind of reluctant to, I suppose you could say, to do train tools, because for me, I've never really used them before in The Sims, because I'm not really a lifelong simmer like most people have been. I've talked about this before, but I've started playing The Sims 3, like my proper Sims. I played The Sims 2 Pets on Nintendo DS in like 2006, but like the actual PC game, the first one I played was The Sims 3 in 2010, but I wasn't a builder, and to be honest, I didn't really play the game that often either. But when I got The Sims 4, and this was in December 2015, and also when I started my channel, that was kind of the start of me playing The Sims 4 and kind of really getting into The Sims on PC. So I've not really been a builder before that, and when it came to building in The Sims 4 as well, I haven't really been building for that long, because surprisingly, you wouldn't really think I would say this, but I absolutely hated building to begin with, and I would never imagine myself, you know, 3 years on being a full-time builder, I guess you could call it, and not doing Let's Plays or anything else on my channel. So it's weird that that's kind of happened, and I know that's kind of a thing that happens a lot with people, is kind of, you know, developing their interests and stuff and kind of just completely changing. And I always find it funny, you know, just going from saying that I never really liked doing building at all to now literally only doing builds. So anyway, I'm totally going off topic here. I've literally forgotten why I brought that up as well. Why did I bring that up? Oh yeah, because I was talking about train paints. Not train paints, oh my god. It's because we're doing the train paints now and I'm looking at it. Train tools, there we go. Oh my god, I'm a right mess today. So I've always been kind of, you know, since we got train tools, I try to avoid them, I guess you could call it, because I'm just not that good at them. But I feel sort of guilty in a way that I'm not using them, because I feel like, you know, you as viewers are expecting to see train tools as kind of a new thing to the game, but I'm just not really that good at them. But saying that, I have done I wouldn't say quite a few, but I've done a few you know, train tool builds recently. And I've kind of, you know, developed a little bit of a skill with it. Not a good skill, but, you know, just some skill. So I know kind of the basics of it. So I thought I'll go ahead and incorporate that today, as just kind of switch it up a little bit so it doesn't end up being the same sort of thing as the last farm I've done. And I actually really love how it turned out. So let me know what you think about it. So I didn't really do train paint. Sorry, not, oh my god. Why do I keep saying train paint? Train tools all over the build. It's just for the back bit, really, I would say, where the house is on. And then it kind of comes down, and the garage in like the farm area is all on flat land, and I'm just doing like a bit of fencing here to kind of, I just suppose like going up on a hill, you would want some sort of like safety net, I suppose. So I went ahead and put that in, but I actually kind of like how that looks. And then it's kind of like the bit in this bit here, looking at right on screen now, is where the kind of greenhouses and the grass area goes, and then there's a bit in the back left hand corner where it's kind of like the house's own backyard area. So they, like, the people who own the house have their own kind of space too, so they have a swimming pool and like a gazebo sort of thing. It's not really a gazebo that I normally do with glass roofs. It's a little bit different, and I'll show you that once I get onto it a little bit later. And then it's a garage at the front of the build as well. But yeah, so it's a pretty big lot, there we go. But it's actually, the house itself is pretty small. Now I'm uploading this on a Sunday, well, at least I think I am. So Sundays is normally a mansion build. I'm still going to class this as a mansion build, but I say that lightly because, you know, I can't really do the same sort of suburban mansion every single week. So it's kind of, you know, interpreting mansions a little bit differently and just switching them up. So this is a 64x64 lot, which I would normally class as a mansion, but I've just kind of did something a little bit different for it. And I've done that for a while though. I think you kind of know that by now. Anyway, so I'm just working a little bit on the backyard area there. I'm kind of just switching all around really. I'm not working on one particular area at once. I'm kind of just doing a little bit here and there really, and just switching things up as I need to. And like, so we've got a big pool there actually, and this little, like, I guess paved area with the train paint is where this gazebo thing is going to be, and as well, what else was I going to say? Oh, that was the other thing. So this build actually only has 2 bedrooms, I think it is, which isn't a lot, but like I said, the house is pretty small. But you can switch it up a little bit inside if you need to kind of fit in a 3rd bedroom somewhere. And yeah, so right now we're just doing a little bit of landscaping. It isn't really over the top or anything like sometimes it is in some of my builds. It is actually pretty simple today because the terrain tools kind of like, you know, just switched up the landscaping and how I had to do it to fit in with that. But yeah, so also as well, you can see that I kind of skipped a little bit earlier when we were doing the kind of lines of grass here because it is a little bit tedious, and I didn't really think you want to see me do that, but I will explain it quickly if you don't know how to do it. Well, it's actually really simple. So basically what I do is to kind of keep the lines straight is I put the grid on, and then I kind of just go for I use the square train paint tool, which is the 2x2 one. I know that that's a little bit kind of thick for like lines of grass, but I just thought because it's a big lot and I've got space to fill up, I'll just do the thicker lines. But that's, I think the last time I did it though in Amber Fall Farm was just the like the smaller size of terrain tool, and yeah, so basically I got like a darker coloured swatch of grass, I guess you could call it, from the terrain paints, and just kind of just a line of that, and then next to it I chose a lighter colour and then went along with that, and I was going to kind of alternate it with like the actual Brinton Bay grass here and then another colour, but I had to go with 2 different ones because we don't actually have a terrain paint for the Brinton Bay grass, which is really frustrating, because it is actually a really nice grass, but you know what, it's okay. So this is a little gazebo area that I was talking about. Nothing really that special, but it's just like, you know, a little bit different than a normal gazebo I do with the glass roofs and stuff. So I just put a little kind of garden seating area here with like a few seats and also a little coffee table and stuff. And I actually really like this little area here too. And then above it I just put a few of those low-lying yellow flower plants on top of it, just to kind of, you know, keep it a little bit shaded I suppose, and kind of have some sort of roof to it. But it's also nice as well because depending on where the light is shining, it kind of makes a nice shadow underneath that area too. So you can see there's lots of landscaping around this area, kind of keeps it a little bit more enclosed and private I suppose, and also as well I did have a big pool there with some seating areas around there, and I think I did put a diving board thing in as well. I think I did, I can't exactly remember, but there's a space there. If I didn't put it in, there is the space to add it if you want to. And yeah, so we're just working on the interior of the build here. Again, all the wall coverings and stuff are already done because those just are kind of boring to do. You're going to see it anyway, as you can see now, so I might as well, you know, just cut it out. Well, to be honest, I don't even record it. There's things in the build where I say I cut out, such as, you know, the bathrooms, the hallways, and me placing down the wall coverings and flooring. But I say that just out of habit really, but I actually just do not record it because I know that I'm not going to include it in the speed build, because, well, you know by now that I don't include those for the same reason. But actually, I don't know if it was it was actually, well, I'm recording this voice over on the 13th, and today the 13th I do have a speed build going up of a celebrity gated mansion, and in that build, because a lot of the houses are repetitive, I did actually go ahead for one of the houses, one of the 5 houses in that build. I did go ahead and show you absolutely everything, so if you want to see me do the floor plan, the bathrooms, placing down the wall covering, the flooring, then you can go ahead and check out that build as I did do it there. And yeah, so right now again we're just doing a little bit more of the interior. This is the kitchen. Now I do think I mentioned in the Meadowview residence build, which was probably the last build before this, I'm not exactly sure though. I was saying how I am kind of getting a little bit bored with the kitchen items and I always feel like I'm using the same ones, and I tend to go for the parenthood ones, but I did actually go for the base game ones today, as I thought those are kind of nice and just a little bit, you know, different to switch it up. But I do always tend to go for the lighter cabinets, as I was saying in that build, and I did actually go ahead and do it today without really even thinking about it. But I kind of had to really because it's very kind of light in this build in terms of the colour swatches inside, so it wouldn't really feel right going for a darker colour swatch counter just to kind of switch it up. But yeah, so this is the dining room area, and it is a fairly big room, and I do kind of like the formal aspect of it because, you know, you've got the island counters in the kitchen with some seats there, so it's a little bit more of an informal, you know, sort of dining room, I guess you could call it, and then there is that bigger dining room which has a big dining table, a bar, and the piano too. That kind of just makes it into more of a formal area, or for like parties and stuff. And yeah, so this is one of the bedrooms here, and I would probably say that this would be the master bedroom because it has the very nice big windows there looking out. And that's where I went ahead and put the bedroom area, or the bed. And I think, is that an ensuite bathroom? No, there isn't, but I don't think the other one though does. Anyway, that kind of leads me on to saying that sometimes it is kind of hard to decide what is going to be the master bedroom in my builds, because one of them may be bigger than the other, but the smaller one has an ensuite bathroom, not purposely though, just because that's how the floor plan worked out. And then sometimes it's the way around, there's other factors as well. And I always say that though, because I noticed in most speed builds that I watch, people define what is the master bedroom and which one's for this type of sim, which one's for that. But since my room's in neutral anyway, it is kind of hard to decide that anyway. But also with the size and thing too, it makes it difficult to decide. But you know what, I'll just leave that up to you. And yeah, so this is kind of the living room area. It's a little bit of an awkward shaped room actually, because it's kind of the hallway, the entranceway, and it's got the stairs in it, and it's got like, you know, 3 different seating areas. A little bit of a random room in terms of its layout, but you know what, nothing wrong with that. It's a little bit different, I suppose. And yeah, so this room right here is the study. I mean, I don't know if this is like a practical room because it's like a farm. Maybe you're not going to spend that much time inside, I don't know, but it's just sort of out of habit I tend to put a study in. And I suppose they are kind of practical rooms depending on what type of interests and kind of you know, careers they sims in and stuff. So we'll just finish working on that, pretty simple. And then this room here is the last bedroom, because like I said, there is only 2 rooms in this build, so it is pretty simple. And I think this is actually the last room in this speed build video. So I really hope you enjoyed today's build. If you did, make sure you leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't. You can go ahead and download this from the gallery. Like I said, my origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and as well there should be a download link in the description if that's an easier way for you to kind of get to this build on the gallery. And also as well, if you have any more ideas for maybe builds similar to this, such as like the farm style, or even any of the mansion builds, or just builds in general you want to see next, then let me know. That'd be really helpful to hear. Leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!